Good evening, hushlings, and welcome. I present your preceptors to the underbelly of the void, the whispers of conjecture, and the known of the unknown. Thus begins the conclave of the hushhushsociety.
Greetings, hushlings. I'm Declassified Dave.
And I'm Mystery Mike, and as always, we're joined by our friend, Slick Frog Sanders.
What's up, guys? Slick Frog Sanders here.
Welcome to the Hush Hush Society Conspiracy Hours live show. We are broadcasting live from sunny Southern California.
The sun is bright.
Outside, yes.
Not in my studio.
No, your nook.
Welcome, guys. We really appreciate you hushlings so much for making Season 1 so amazing. We'd like to thank you from the bottom of our hearts. We're blessed to bring you all this conspiracy-filled podcast.
Yeah.
It is a blessing.
And as always, before we get started on today's show, we just want to let you know about our social medias. You can find us on Facebook, obviously, if you are here listening to us, Twitter, Instagram, and on our brand new TikTok, where we are severely underappreciated. You can reach out to us and also ask for our Discord channel, where you can join and post some topics that you'd like us to take a look at, or research that you may have popped up as, or, just tell us we're doing a great job.
One of us is always on Discord, so.
Truth. Not me. Don't look for me.
No, not me.
You can also email us anytime at our email address, hushhushsociety@planetmail.com.
So, as promised, this episode, we're going to be doing questions and calls from everybody, if you're going to call in. Oh,
they're slowly trickling in. They're trickling in.
Somebody's watching the stream on our feed. Hello.
Bear with us, guys. We are using a third-party streaming site that goes to Facebook Live, so there's going to be a little lag here and there, but Frank is going to be fielding your questions throughout the chat so that we can answer them, and he'll be answering you while he's in there, so feel free to talk, chat with us amongst yourselves, or, just watch us, listen to us, go crazy.
We'll be right here.
We'll be right here.
Ain't going nowhere.
So, typically, when we do a show, it's a debriefing. This one is still going to be a debriefing. We're going to be talking about the Dyatlov Pass first.
Ooh, yeah. This is a tricky one.
It's a cold one. I feel
chilly.
cold thinking of it.
It's going to be a long, dark, cold winter.
Oh, my. It wasn't long for them, I'll tell you.
Oh, jeez.
Woof. The Dyatlov Pass is an event where 9 Russian hikers died in the northern Ural Mountains between the 1st and 2nd of February in 1959 in uncertain circumstances. Yeah. They were an experienced trekking group, so, they knew what they were doing. They were from the Ural Polytechnical Institute and had established a camp on the slopes of Kalat Saikal. I believe I pronounced that right. In an area now named after the group's leader, Igor Dyatlov.
Yeah, this is a crazy story for sure. During the night, something caused them to tear their way out of their tents and flee the campsite. They were not dressed for that, obviously, and they weren't dressed for the heavy snowfall and the sub-zero temperatures outside. After their bodies were discovered, an investigation by Soviet authorities determined that 6 had died from hypothermia, while the other 3 showed signs of physical trauma.
Some of the physical trauma involving this said scenario was one victim had a fractured skull, 2 others had major chest fractures, and 1 body was missing both of its eyes. One of the bodies was even missing their tongue.
So my thing looking at this story, my very first thought especially pertaining to the physical trauma of the bodies, is that there was some sort of maybe cannibalism involved in this.
I had a hold up moment, and hold up,
Hold up.
and I thought about it, this is a little out there, but cattle mutilation, missing eyes, missing tongues. I don't know. I don't think we ever got any information if it was like surgical precision, but like that stuff is like that. So maybe could I guess 2 of these guys unfortunately got probed and lost their tongue and their eyes, and then the rest of them just got smushed. I don't know. But there was definitely a moment where I was like, well, everybody else just got the shit kicked out of them, and these guys got mutilated.
Ugh. It is, and that's why I said maybe it has to do with some sort of cannibalistic state. Maybe they had going out into the cold and being in those temperatures and that environment. Maybe they lost their mind, or maybe they feared for going hungry. I don't know.
I think the only thing that would make me not think that is how fast it happened, because you saw the movie, Alive? I mean, didn't that true story about the plane crash in South America, right? Where those guys started eating each other after.
It was a soccer team, I believe.
Yeah, soccer team. So, I don't know. It's
if
strange.
you're going to eat somebody, are you really going for the eyes and the tongue first?
No. No.
I mean, I'm no cannibal, but I don't...
Go for the calf, man.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
I heard that the buttocks was really good.
Like pork, right? That's
yeah,
what I've heard.
it's like the what do they call it? The rear flank or something.
Nice and tender.
Like an Easter ham.
Oh, God. Pineapple and all.
You got the cherry right in the center. Yep.
Oh, jeez.
Only hams.
Oh, jeez.
So onward, right?
Yeah.
The investigation concluded that a compelling natural force had caused the deaths. Numerous theories have been put forward to account for the unexplained deaths, including animal attacks, hypothermia, an avalanche, catabolic winds, infrasound-induced panic, and military involvement, or possibly a combination of some of these theories.
This all sounds very interesting.
Yeah. So this is... I never knew what this is called. I guess, I don't think you've been hit by one of these because supposedly it kills you. But a katabatic wind is a drainage wind that carries high-density air from higher elevation down a slope under the force of gravity. So, I guess an air avalanche?
Oh, jeez.
Well, it's just a freight train of air.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, and then there was another speculation about the military tests that the Soviets were using parachute mines in the area. So that could have hit them. But, you would think if somebody got hit by a mine, there'd be more injuries.
Did you say parachute mines?
Yeah. Parachute mines.
Soviet parachute mines.
These people, I swear, they came up with some really, really interesting weapons.
I'm sure we had parachute mines too.
You
How
think
does that
so?
even work?
Probably. Get somebody on here right now that's a weapons expert in the military that can tell me that we had parachute mines in the 50s.
Yeah, I want to know about parachute mines, please.
Yeah, please Google that. I have a billion windows open. I can't Google it right
pull that shit up, Jamie.
But yeah, parachute mines. So just standing at the top of stairs or in a plane, I guess, in there, and you just drop the little army soldier with the parachute, but it's a mine.
Is that how it worked? I imagined
you're...
a helium balloon with a fucking brick of C4 on it.
Can you imagine just sleeping? You just had your last shot of vodka. You're laying there. It's cold. The wind's blowing, and all of a sudden, boom! You just blow up. I don't think that happened with the injuries sustained. let's rule out parachute mines and move on to the next possible murderer of these people.
Well, you got to look at one of the most simple explanations: an avalanche. So an avalanche occurs when a slab of snow is sitting on top of a weaker layer of snow, and it breaks hold and slides down a steep slope. Yeah, I'm sure you all know what an avalanche is.
I've actually, I learned something today.
Oh, about
What was that?
avalanches?
Yeah.
Another explanation could have been what's called, and this is something that I had no idea was a real thing, paradoxical undressing. So when somebody goes into hypothermia, it can induce a weird behavior, and it's known as paradoxical undressing. And that's when the hypothermic subject takes off all their clothes in response to a perceived feeling of burning warmth. So when I looked at this, I said it's kind of, it seems like it's a viable thing. If you've ever been outside, especially as a kid, you know, you'd go outside in the snow if you weren't one of those lucky kids that had snow pants. My parents didn't think about snow pants. So you go out and your pants get all wet and cold, and your skin gets red, and you start getting that, you know, burning sensation because you're so cold. So I guess that would be their whole body feeling like that.
Yeah, I want to say that happens to people a bunch that try to hike up Everest. I watched this documentary on Mount Everest, and I think that happens more than you would think.
I'd like to meet somebody who got naked on Everest.
I don't think you will. I think most of them are like frozen in the ice up there.
Damn it.
Yeah, there's a lot of folks that are up there. I mean, I've never been, but
yeah, no, fuck all that.
Oh, hold on. We got a comment about parachute mines. And it's by a lovely woman named Sue. And she says that parachute mines are naval bombs dropped and attached to parachutes. Oh, well, yeah, that makes sense. Naval, yeah. Yeah, that would make sense. Dropping onto the decks of ships and stuff.
yep.
I just feel like there's a better way to go about it. I don't know. I don't know.
See, here's the thing. Like, yes, the Navy uses planes, I'm sure, in other countries too, but if we're in the middle of, like, Siberia, like, no, actually, you know what? I lie. My geographical knowledge is a little off right now. The area that they were in was actually, I believe, on a body of water. It was one of the cold oceans up there. I sound really bad saying that because
Cold oceans.
One of the cold oceans, the Baltic, probably not that, but it was a coastal area because it was near some town that I had read that I didn't write down, and that's shame on me.
Some sort of fishing town,
Probably a fishing establishment.
just covered in ice.
Tally-ho.
So another conspiracy maybe explaining this incident is infrasound. Infrasound. That's it.
It's a tongue twister.
It's sometimes referred to as low frequency sound. It describes sound waves with a frequency below the lower limit of audibility, so you can't hear it. I don't know about all that because I'm not a sound technician. I don't know.
It is a wonder. A sound?
How would that take you out? How would that pop out your eyeballs and your tongue?
I mean, wasn't there the account of, like, what biblical town was it where they used, like, sound, the trumpets, to knock down the walls of Jericho? That's what it was.
Yeah.
So, like, sound could be used as a weapon. I think I mentioned that in one of the episodes this past season. But sound can totally be used as a weapon. But who the hell's in the middle of nowhere, just like, you know, like seriously.
I like the sound.
So the next and final conspiracy would be the Yeti, which is definitely the most interesting in my opinion. The Yeti is a monstrous creature. The entity would later become to be referred to as the Abominable Snowman. Abominable. I'm real bad at that word. Yeah, pretty much Snow Squatch.
Snow Squatch.
Isn't that your...
It's my cousin. Yeah, it's my cousin.
Yeah.
We hang out.
Yeah.
Do you?
Whenever I'm up north, you know. We chill.
Well, yeah, you guys have good IPAs up there, man.
I don't know. I think
Whenever I
Yetis
go
would
north
find
of
eyeballs
Seattle.
and tongues yum.
Yeah, I'm gonna take so much flack for making an IPA comment. So, interestingly enough, Russia opened up an investigation in 2019 about this, and its conclusions were presented actually this year in July. Miraculously,
took some time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Russia's big. I don't know. Maybe they had to do some hikes themselves. They determined that the cause of death of these hikers was hypothermia. I mean, duh.
Obviously.
But yeah, and a combination of avalanche, forcing the group to leave their camp, combined with low visibility, probably because of said avalanche. So,
yeah, the whiteout.
yeah.
What took them 60 years to come to this conclusion?
I was just thinking, 60 years. Come on.
We'll get to that.
So 6 of the group members died of hypothermia, 3 of fatal injuries. The tent had been ripped open from within. As we said, you know, they just kind of ran out. The victims had died 6 to 8 hours after their last meal. Traces from the camp showed that all group members left the campsite of their own accord and on foot. And there were also high levels of radiation found on only one of the victims' clothing. That's pretty wild. What? I don't understand the radiation found only on one person's clothing.
Kind of sus.
Yeah, like if they were all together, wouldn't they all? I mean, I don't know. It says it's saying high levels. So high levels of radiation, wouldn't that rub off on your tent neighbor there?
Yeah, that's weird.
No.
So there were no survivors. They all died. They all got ripped. At the time, the verdict was that the group members had died because of compelling natural force. You know, the hypothermia, the avalanche, says Russia.
Says Russia. Yeah. Do we trust that? They were doing some sort of nuclear testing up there, just didn't tell anybody about it. These poor guys are just trying to hike along, sleeping on top of yellow cake uranium or something.
Where'd Dave go?
Uh-oh.
Oh, no. Fucking Yeti got him.
See? It's crazy. You get onto this live show, you start losing people, just dropping like flies. It's cool. Maybe
That's what they want you to think.
Yeah. Maybe we just push on.
Trudge on.
Trudge on.
To dispel the theory of an attack by the indigenous Mansi people, the tribe, it stated that the fatal injuries of the 3 bodies could not have been caused by human beings because the force of the blows had been too strong and no soft tissue had been damaged. Released documents contained no information about the condition of the skiers' internal organs. The inquest officially ceased in May 1959 as a result of the absence of a guilty party. The files were sent to a secret archive. I don't know that this couldn't have been caused by people.
You don't know that what?
This couldn't have been caused by people. They're saying, you know, that the force of the blows were too strong and no soft tissue was damaged. Isn't your eyes soft tissue? Are they not?
Yeah, I would say your tongue is kind of soft tissue also. I mean, well, your tongue is a muscle, so... But either way. All right, so Dave is gonna rejoin the show. It's a real blast.
You got locked out.
Live show.
Hello,
He's
hello.
here. Oh, hey, there he is.
Heyo.
Hey,
Sorry,
we're
we'll
back.
blame that one on. We'll blame that one on the power company doing work on my street, deciding to knock out my power for a second. That was fantastic-oosh.
Sweet. Dave, we trudged on in spirit of the show. Frank was just talking about the inquest that was ceased in 1959. Gotta love a live show. It wouldn't be a good live show if we didn't run into some sort of issue.
Some sort of issue. I mean, we've never used this, so it's
Good
new.
times, though.
Next one will be amazing, but it's okay. Forgive us.
Probably not.
Probably not. So what did I miss?
We were just talking about the inquest. Yeah, the inquest was ceased in 1959. Frank just let us in on that piece of information.
So we're gonna travel back to 1997 then, right?
Oh yeah.
Sounds
Great
about
year.
right.
Great year. Well, in 1997, it was revealed that the negatives from, I'm gonna call him Yuri, because out of respect, I'm gonna mess that up. Yeah. Yuri's camera were kept in a private archive of one of the investigators, Lev Ivanov. The film material was donated by Ivanov's daughter to the Dyatlov Foundation, and the diaries of the hiking party fell into Russia's public domain in 2009. I didn't hear about that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I doubt that you would.
I'm not in Russia. So.
On April 12th, 2018, Zolotarev's remains were exhumed on the initiative of journalists of the Russian tabloid newspaper Komsomolskaya Pravda. I'm so sorry if you're from Russia and I just destroyed that. Contradictory results were obtained. One of the experts said that the character of the injuries resembled a person knocked down by a car. So, what could have possibly happened to these hikers?
That's what I mean. I guess like the injuries of getting knocked down by a car would be, I guess, coincide with an avalanche probably.
That was my initial thought, is that, it had to be some sort of thing to do with an avalanche. If it's showing that, in postmortem that the body looked like it was hit by a car, that really is the only explanation. Albeit Yeti could also be an explanation, just getting punched square in the sternum by a big old snowman.
I mean, it's your cousin. You would know. How big is your fist? Is it like Thanos? Is it like a monster fist?
It's a Thanos fist, except it's covered in fur and droppings.
Except the only difference is that you don't have to close your fist; you just punch. Like,
well, I was thinking to myself, right? How is an avalanche going to fracture somebody's skull and take out eyeballs? And I didn't take into account maybe rocks. You can definitely fracture your head and maybe poke out a few eyes on some sharp rocks, depending on what the area was like where they were hiking.
Can you imagine poking both your eyes out? like the Boondock Saints shot you from the back with the coins on your head, and you're just like, oh, what are the odds?
Pebbles.
I'm in Siberia hiking. It's the 50s, and I just land on two sharp rocks and just pop my eyes out. And then the other guy that's just like, you know what? Gene Simmons had a huge tongue, even though I'm well before his time. I'm going to rip mine out.
Maybe he like bit it off. You know, you ever like bite your tongue?
You know,
That's possible.
that could be too. You know, he tripped and bit it off, and the other guy just tripped on two jagged rocks.
Perfect width apart to poke out both of his eyes.
Yeah.
It's very possible. Or, the way that I see it, a Yeti attacked him and stuck his two fingers right into his eyeballs, kind of like if you were holding a bowling ball. You know? This is a double finger bowling ball. That's a strike. This is good.
It's a strike. You got
Throws
the
them
Yeti
at
in
the other hikers.
You got the Yeti
They
in the
all die
background,
from the blast and they cover it up with a car crash.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, just
There you
just
go.
The Yeti comes back with a
randomly-
pickup truck.
randomly a car crash in the middle of the Ural Mountains.
He's driving a Toyota Tundra.
Hey.
I don't know.
So tell us in the comments what you think the possible cause of this incident could have been. You know, did somebody fall on two evenly spaced rocks that jabbed him in the eyes? Did somebody, you know, bite off his own tongue? What do you think happened? Let us know. Just to give you guys another update, throughout the show, we're going to be doing little giveaways. We have a few shirts. We have some sticker packs that we're going to be throwing out to you. So if you stick around till the end, we will tell you how to get those, and we'll get you some swag, or as Slick Frank Sanders likes to call it,
The dapper drip.
the dapper
It's the
drip.
dapper drip. Get with it.
What do you think happened?
It's the sound waves.
Like, no, like, I mean,
Yeah.
I want to know what other people think, but
No,
what do
yeah,
you think
absolutely.
happened?
Personally,
Did they get assaulted, Mike?
you know, I'm
Just kidding.
I'm always the skeptic. So when it comes to our past debriefings, I always have to look at it skeptically. I think that, you know, maybe they did go through that undressing and they kind of lost their mind for a bit, but in the end, it was probably just hypothermic insanity. At least that's my thought on it.
Have you
think
ever
they
lost
just
your
went
mind?
nuts and just started pulling out each other's eyes? I can't get over the that's the
that's-
oddball piece of evidence here. That's what
Yeah.
really keeps me wondering, you know.
It's the only thing that keeps me wondering is the fact, like, okay, like I said before, I get it. Sorry. Someone on Facebook put a comment that said, puts a new spin on someone being a snack, eh?
It's too good.
Is a good one.
Nom, 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 nom.
Oh, Jesus.
The tails. I don't know. It just like the only thing that gets me is the tongue and the eyes. Like the chest stuff. Like, yeah, these guys. The only, like, what could cause you to cut your? I mean, that's a possibility. Russian military operation cover up. I mean, yeah, the parachute mines.
Fucking parachute mines.
Oh shit! We dropped them in the wrong spot. Those guys were from the university. Like, nah. But I think, I don't know. I really think that these guys. I'm gonna go with either your cousin or
The yet.
the Yet, or some other weird thing, or the Katabatic winds. You know, I think the sound thing is ridiculous. I think they would probably have different injuries. But, I mean, the most plausible thing is probably an avalanche, but I'm going to go out of left field here.
Yeah, I always like to go with the most obvious explanation. Maybe that makes me a bad conspiracy Bigfoot, but trash. But yeah, I gotta say it's something less mysterious. It's probably just, hypothermia mixed with a few other bad environmental things.
I would say, let me take that back. The only way it really could be avalanche, they would be buried, right? So if they found them on the surface, then
that's true.
Yeah, that's a loose avalanche. That's some fresh powder, bro. That's some loose.
Getting loose.
Yeah, so I don't know. So I think it could have been serious. Have you ever been? Us three have definitely been in hurricanes. Yeah. So
I thought you were going to ask if we've ever been in an avalanche.
Absolutely.
That's what keeps me from snowboarding, honestly.
Yeah,
it's terrifying.
Yeah, scary shit.
Yeah, well, sharks keep me from surfing, so that's. But that's the only thing that I can think of that could cause that type of because if you've ever been in a microburst, that shit comes out of nowhere, and you're like, oh god,
yeah.
So yeah, wind is crazy. So it could have been that.
That's your quote for the show. Wind is crazy.
Wind is wild, man. Yo, have you seen the wind? Have you felt the wind on your face?
But have you really felt the wind?
Like those guys in Russia?
Oof.
Now that we've gone through the Dyatlov Pass incident, and you guys have given us some of your thoughts on what may have happened, we're going to take a quick whatever you call it, a segue, I guess, to talk about season 1. We're here this is debriefing number 10. We've gone through 9 intense episodes of our show in season 1. Season 2 is looking to be just as stacked. But looking back on season 1, I want to ask you guys. I want to ask, the people that are watching, the people that have listened to the show. I also want to ask my cohorts here. What was your favorite episode that we did throughout the season? If you had to look at the episodes, and I'll give you a quick rundown in case you need a little memory jog. So we did the Montauk Project Philadelphia experiment. We talked MK Ultra. We did a 2-part JFK assassination, 2-part Jeffrey Epstein suicide, Majestic 12, the Zeta Reticuli incident with Betty and Barney Hill, and most recently we talked about the 2012 apocalypse phenomenon. So, my friends, what are we looking at? What was your favorite episode?
Frankie, let's hear what you got to say.
All right. Well, it's tough for me. This is a tough choice. I enjoyed researching JFK the most. But conspiracy-wise, I liked the Zeta Reticuli or the 2012 debriefing the most.
The 2012 was your birth child, so.
It's true. We're all dead, by the way. Yeah. Nobody's here.
Welcome to the fucking simulation.
David.
Yeah.
Tell us.
I'm gonna go with Frank on this one, and the JFK was definitely the most overwhelming episode to do research on. It was definitely the most enjoyable because we really could probably do a whole season on it, honestly. There was so much that we didn't talk about, and that was fun. I'd say my second was probably the alien stuff, Zeta Reticuli, Majestic 12. The 2012 one was a lot of fun. But, they were all fun. Montauk and MK Ultra it feels like so long ago, only less than 3 months that we were talking about that. But they were all good. I'd say my least favorite was Jeffrey Epstein. That was definitely...
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that.
I think we all agreed on that just because the subject matter of those episodes was so heavy. And as interesting as it was to see that there is, some sick underbelly of this world that continues to flow behind the scenes, it's heavy, especially if you're a person with kids, or, you have, if you were ever a kid. So, yeah, if you're a decent human being, exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, Epstein was hard. It was a difficult one. And
Epstein was particularly hard for us because, little known fact that nobody knows about, the first episode, we recorded an entire episode and we had technical problems. So we had to actually do the Epstein episode 3 different times. So that was a grueling couple weeks to have to re-talk about a sour subject. But we had to bring it to you.
It was rough. It was probably 3 to 4 weeks, almost an entire month of just looking up child pedo shit. It was terrible. It was so...
not a fun couple of weeks.
No.
But it had to be brought to the table. It's so prominent in society right now,
And you guys enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it is
definitely.
It's still one of our better episodes. But yeah, I would.
What about you,
say,
Mike? What about you?
You.
Well, I liked the Zeta Reticuli incident. I think that was one of the better episodes that we did as far as research and all that. But JFK, I agree with you guys. Between JFK and MK Ultra, the research I think was most enjoyable out of anything else that we had done. So
MK Ultra had some wild stuff.
Yeah.
and the JFK, like I said, we could there's a bunch of stuff that we didn't touch. So maybe we'll do a part 3.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Maybe a follow-up.
Yeah.
I loved how throughout the season, even though all of the debriefings, they didn't necessarily directly correlate, you could still draw certain lines from one to the next. Like shit from JFK might have popped up in the research of, say MK Ultra or vice versa. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, we veered in. We spent a lot of time in the between 1947 and 1965 in this season.
Yeah.
So
we're moving on up.
But yeah, collectively, I would say collectively between all of us, the JFK was probably our favorite as a whole.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. We're gonna move forward. We decided that every live show we were gonna take on a different secret society, and we were gonna discuss it. And it was something that we were interested in, but we didn't think, hey, we're gonna be able to fill an hour on this. So maybe we'll just split it with the live show and get into it. So we're going to get into a society known as the Oddfellows.
And this was actually a email suggestion.
Yes, it was.
From one of our fellow Hushlings, who's a good friend of ours, who had mentioned when we had made a post back in, I believe, August or early September, about what secret society do you want to hear on the live show, and she was the first one to pop in, and she said the Oddfellows. So we jumped on it, and
here we are.
Here we are. You're about to hear about these Oddfellows.
So the Oddfellows, also known as the Odd Fellowship, is an international fraternity consisting of lodges first documented way back in 1730 in London. The first known lodge was called Loyal Aristarchus, Lodge number 9, suggesting there were earlier ones in the 18th century.
Yeah, the names of several British pubs today suggest that the past Oddfellow affiliations. In the mid-18th century, following the Jacobite risings, the fraternity split into the rivaling order of patriotic Oddfellows in southern England, and they favored William III of England. And then there was the ancient order of Oddfellows in northern England and Scotland, who were in favor of the House of Stuart.
So they were, so they were, so pretty much just split up.
Yeah.
But they were the same, but split up. That's weird.
It is an odd thing. I guess
it's an odd thing. It's an odd thing for a bunch of fellows to do, you know? It's
Well, I feel like that's pretty consistent with most of the secret societies. It's a bunch of fucking odd fellows.
Yeah, there's a bunch of, I mean, Mike and I just drove past the Scottish Rite, what is it, the Freemason temple around here, which is pretty wild. And there's a Scientology building down here, which is boarded up, so you guys can't look at it right
There's
now.
a ton of Scientology buildings around LA.
Have you been to the one in Hollywood?
No. Which one on Hollywood Boulevard?
I think it's off Hollywood Boulevard.
Yeah.
It's Sunset, or it might be Sunset. I think it's Hollywood Boulevard though.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
There's one in downtown San Diego. If you go up to the doors, they come at you. So
oh, jeez.
Get out of here with your face. You know, yeah. But
I did see an Oddfellows temple up in LA. It's actually behind. Yeah, I thought it very odd and very coincidental that I ran into it a couple days ago, but it was behind the Chinese theater in LA.
No way, like Orange Avenue, that whole past area. Like, no way.
Right in the back there. So I was pretty surprised to come across it.
It's everywhere. So, speaking of other things like that, the Catholic Church in the 19th century and the 20th centuries condemned secret societies such as the Freemasons, and they deemed them pseudo-religious, but also addressed the other organizations, including suspicions against stated religious neutrality and independence of the Oddfellows. So, you know, they basically said no cults, you know. I mean,
yeah. Which if you
fraternities.
If you look at religion, that's all it. Anyways, moving on.
Season 4, we will be.
Yeah. Oh, jeez. Sooner.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, actually, yeah, sooner. Stay tuned. Hang out for the next 25 minutes.
Yeah, for real.
The Oddfellows are one of the earliest and oldest fraternal societies, but their history is obscure and largely undocumented. Traditions tracing the fraternity's origins way back to Roman emperors Nero and Titus are considered kind of sus, a little dubious. The evolution of the society from the medieval guilds, however, is more reliably documented. By the 13th century, tradesmen's guilds had become more established and prosperous. During the 14th century, guild masters moved to protect their power and wealth by restricting access to the guilds. In response, the less experienced and less wealthy fellows established their own rival guilds.
I will say King George IV of the United Kingdom, 1762, man. Can you imagine? Like, he admitted in 1780, and it was like the first documented of the Oddfellows connection to Freemasonry, and he had mentioned it in the 1780s that, like, oh yeah, there's one and there's another, and they're both hanging out. They hang out, but they don't hang out. You know, like,
yeah.
Can you imagine? Like, yo, that's social media in the 1780s.
We had this question. Do you think those other orders are like chapters? It's very possible, but I think with if you look back into the 1700s, any kind of organization or group like that, if they were splitting to follow a separate leader, then they were most likely very much against each other.
I got a comment on that, actually. Actually, during my research on this, there are many chapters of this throughout the years, like depending on what part of England you're from, and obviously even in the United States. So if you do some research on the Oddfellows, there's not really a lot. Like we said, it's a pretty obscure. But if you do research through, Google, you can find a list of different chapters here, there, all over the place throughout the years. So definitely, I'm sure there are chapters. I mean, you see Freemasonry from the East Coast to the West Coast, and wherever you go, you'll see the what is it, the compass and the G, so you'll see that on so many buildings. So and those are all, I would say, different sects or chapters of Freemasonry. They might have their own might have a different color hat. I don't know. I don't know. I do know, though, that at some point in my family, on my dad's side, that there were Freemasons. So
here we go. Here we go. We just
Dave, are you gonna follow in the legacy?
Found out.
Absolutely no. Dale quit that.
We have been infiltrated by the man.
How are you gonna say
by the secret?
I'm a gray alien. Yeah. How are you gonna say you've been infiltrated?
Our society has been probed.
And like we said in episode 9, that's all she wrote.
We're done. But when Henry VIII broke with the Roman Catholic Church, he viewed the guild as supporting the Pope. And in 1545, he confiscated all material property of the guilds. So he took away all their shit. Elizabeth I stripped the guilds of the responsibility for training apprentices, and by the end of her reign, most guilds had been suppressed.
So we're talking, these guilds were around before the 1730s.
Yeah.
So you're talking about like people were like mobilizing to do this like fraternity. So like you see like. And then, I mean, all the way back to like Nero. That's way back from there. So that's pretty weird. I'm sure it all stems from one thing. Like I'm sure like the bottleneck in human history of the population. We'll get into that, guys. Don't worry. We mentioned Randall Carlson. Look into him. He'll talk about that a lot. So, but I'm sure at one point we were at one spot, very small. And like I said, origin stories usually start from one place.
Yeah. Yeah. And one thing about secret organizations or fraternities or brotherhoods or whatever, orders, whatever name they want to give themselves. One thing about them is if in public they've been shunned and they have been cast out, then they will easily recede into the shadows. So, case in point, they have a temple in LA today. So obviously in 1545, when, everything seems against them because of Henry VIII and because of Elizabeth I, like they still found a way to exist, to continue to grow and be a thing.
Can I say something?
You can.
I just Googled this. I wanted to see other places in Southern California that there was Oddfellows. There is a building in 1882 built in the Gaslamp Quarter of downtown San Diego.
Oh, geez.
That is a Oddfellow building.
I will be stopping by tonight.
Now, weirdly enough, I worked in a building that was built in the 1800s at one point in downtown San Diego, and it was originally a brothel. And yeah, and I'm not sure the exact group that owned it, but it was originally a brothel, and there was some creepy shit that happened there. But it was an interesting place, and it has like a historical plaque and whatnot on it. But yeah, no, that's just Southern California. So 1800s in the United States.
Yep.
Everywhere. So you say LA, San Diego. I'm sure in my search typing Oddfellows, California, it said San Francisco. So I'm sure in most major cities in this state, and I'm sure every single state has an Oddfellows thing. But thanks to my friend for telling me about this, I've never heard about it.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, that's the way that most of these secret societies are. A lot of them you've never heard of. Sure, you've heard of the big ones. You've heard of the Illuminati and the Skull and Bones and all those other people, but the smaller ones, in a way, are actually scarier because you don't know they exist.
Because the exact origin of the Odd Fellowship is involved in complete obscurity. Like we don't know anything about it, but it obviously had a beginning. I mean, you said 1545. Frank said 1730. So, like, how far back does this actually go? We really don't know. Mm-hmm. And no historian has ever been able to really, like, ascertain that or find that out. Mm. So, all the history prior to the introduction of the order into England is merely hearsay,
Yeah.
On proofless and absurd things that are said. But, like, it's really a game of telephone, unless you're a part of the Oddfellows.
Yeah.
And if you are a part of the Oddfellows and you're listening to this, email us.
Yeah, let us know. What are you doing?
Yeah, we want to know what you're doing. And if you can't tell us like the Freemasons do and it's all weird like that, then all good, man. We'll stay out of it. Yeah, we'll stay out of it. We're good on that.
We'll just let our listeners know.
Yeah. You guys figure it out.
Oh boy. Yeah. I think that's it for the Oddfellows.
Yeah, there's not much. I mean, definitely do some research on it. It's a weird one. It's odd. And we'll probably delve into the Freemasons eventually. I'm sure.
Oh, I'm sure, especially when we get into the secret societies throughout our live shows. We're going to get into more and more of them. The Illuminati, I think that alone we could probably just do an entire show on. But
absolutely.
Yep. But moving forward, we we're almost through the show here, and we want to dive in a little bit into what you can expect from season 2 of our show. And some other upcoming things that we're pretty proud of and we're looking forward to. One of those things mainly is merchandise. I mean, as we said, that Dapper Drip is coming. I want a hoodie. I want t-shirts, hats, koozies, as I've said before.
I want it all.
Yeah.
All that.
I got to get baby onesies. For my little squatch.
Future hushlings.
Yeah.
We're probably gonna have to do, we'll get you guys masks at some point. That's coming, the newest accessory of the hotness of America. So let's get you guys hush masks so when somebody looks at you, you can tell them hush.
Yeah, wear those masks for the pandemic.
But definitely definitely stickers and definitely t-shirts are coming soon. And for you folks that are about to hear about our contest that's coming up.
Yes, we have a new contest. We need 3 hushlings to email us an experience they've had with the unknown, whether it be paranormal, cryptid, or just weird as all hell. One of you will win, three of you will win a one-of-a-kind live show t-shirt, and their experience will be featured on the Cryptid Chronicles, possibly?
Yes, so our Cryptid Chronicles is a new segment we're going to be doing, I would say probably every 3 episodes, and it's going to be about, 15-20 minutes of us talking about the pandemic. Who wrote that? It's gonna be talking about us, cryptids, paranormal, weird stuff that just happens. And our first episode is actually going to be about the Mothman of Point Pleasant, Virginia. So that's going to be a lot of fun. We're stoked on that.
So I just want to break in here for a second. Have you ever heard of Mothman erotica?
Only from you. You were telling me in the car one night at like 1 a.m. I forget where we were driving from or to, but I was No, dude, you put on like some story on the radio or something through like Bluetooth, dude. Oh my god. Oh my god, I was so uncomfortable.
To say that it's sexy is an understatement.
I was so uncomfortable. Check it out.
Check it out.
But yeah, the three T-shirts that we're gonna be designing, they're really cool, and all three are gonna be one of one. So you are gonna be the only person in the world, probably besides like me or Mike or Frank, that has them. But you're going to be one of the only people that are ever going to have this T-shirt, because we're never going to print it again. There's only going to be 3 printed.
Truth.
Or 6, because there's 3 of us. So, because they look that cool. So, and on top of it, like Mike said, there's going to be merchandise. We are in the process of getting stickers made. So sticker packs are definitely coming. Individual stickers are coming. And throughout the season, we're going to be having, merchandise drops. But definitely keep on a lookout for that. And we do have an Instagram for that called Hush Hush Apparel. So definitely keep an eye out on that.
I have an email, as we are here talking about it, from one of our listeners, and he reached out to us, and he wanted to know about some stuff that we were going to get into possibly next season. So he said, he didn't leave me his name. Sorry. We'll just leave it mysterious.
We're going to call him Hushling001.
There you go. The number 1. He said, I was interested in an episode in Men in Black. MIB are terrifying in their original form. But thanks to Hollywood, they're seen as an amusing oddity. It'd be great if you can create an episode that makes MIB scary. Mysterious things again. Well,
I think that's a great idea. That
I'm
would be
about
cool.
It. Yep.
I'm totally about doing an MIB episode. It's kind of funny that we got the email pertaining to that, because we were filling out our seasons, and there was just so happened to be this one blank spot. And maybe that could be something that we dive into in that blank spot. I don't see why not.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you guys would like to see us cover? Anything that you think that you'd be interested in having us research and us get into and us do a deep dive into? Oh, he's actually in our chat. There he is. Hey.
No way.
Yeah. No problem.
Oh, wow.
No problem.
Hello.
But yeah, we're definitely gonna get into a lot of stuff like that. Thank you, Mel. Appreciate that.
Yes.
But it's definitely something that we're gonna get into. We have probably more material and more topics that we want to cover than we have time for. But with the expansion of our regular 10 episodes and our additional 3 cryptid episodes, I don't see why we can't get a little outside the box.
It's gonna be pretty cool. I mean, it was an awesome. I think it's gonna be an awesome addition to our show, because we normally probably would have gotten to Mothman or any of the other weird things that aren't just like straight conspiracies, because we've definitely covered plenty of government conspiracies, and we've covered aliens, but there's plenty more. And season 2 definitely going to be a wallop. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yep.
And we're excited about it. But guys, to be excited about something, check out Mike's appearance on the Infinite Rabbit Hole podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he spoke with one of their co-hosts, Jeremy, and they talked about extraterrestrials and a ton of wild shit that was far more than extraterrestrials. and Mike gave some pretty cool insight on us as the Hush Hush Society as a group, and it's a good listen, and be sure to check them out. And who knows,
Yeah, for sure. Look into the Infinite Rabbit Hole. Jeremy was a great host. He asked some really good questions. We got into a lot of real deep dive conversations about multi-dimensional beings, multi-dimensional travel. We went off the rails with it, and I really enjoyed it. And I want to thank him if he's still in the chat. Thanks, Jeremy. I appreciate it. We had a blast. But make sure to check out their podcast for sure.
Not only that episode, I've checked out a bunch of episodes since I've listened to that and heard about them, and it's been they're awesome. Just check it out.
I did the same. It's a lot of interesting stuff they've got going on.
And the show is run by military. Like all the hosts, they're in the military. So if you support the military and you want to give them a listen, please make sure to and thank them at least for their services.
And they have a great name. They have a great name.
They do.
Love it.
They do.
I love it. It was actually something similar to what we were thinking of when we when we materialized the Hush Hush Society, and we realized that I think we might have even seen them on there. We were like, oh nope, never mind.
All right, so I'm looking at the chat right now. Everybody that is watching us, don't leave the room. This is purely for you, those that have stuck around, those that are watching, those that are listening, those that have their minds open. You guys will all get sticker packs. Everybody in the room right now is going to get a sticker pack. So if you could just reach out to us and if you want a sticker pack, we will send them out to you. Just send us an email through our email address, hushhushsociety@planetmail.com, or you can reach out to us on our Facebook group and leave us a message, or if you want everybody in the room to know your address, just drop them. It's cool. And we will.
It's a safe place.
We'll send you out. We'll send you out a sticker pack. It's pretty cool. And also for anybody that stuck around, like we said, we're giving away 3 Hush Hush Society t-shirts. They're 3 of 3, but they're technically 1 of 1 because there's a slight design difference in every single shirt. So 3 of you, if you just reach out to us, just send us a message, we will pull a random winner and we will get 3 t-shirts out to you guys. Just let us know your address and shirt size and all that jazz, and we'll take care of you.
So, Frankie,
yes,
why don't you tell them about our next debriefing and and some, we might be having some guests. In the next couple.
You're right. So with season 2 right around the corner, we do have some guest appearances lined up. Pretty hyped for that. And to delve into season 2, Monday, November 30th, Debriefing 11, we will be covering the Vatican. Now, this debriefing will be part 1 of a 2-part series. I don't know how to feel about that. I feel like it's gonna be a little creepy, spooky doing the research.
I think we're gonna. It's a broad spectrum. There's the creepy, spooky aspect to it, and then there's. I don't want to give anything away, so like I don't want to say anything about it.
Give a little.
Well, there's the the alien aspect. You never know. Like, what does the Vatican know? I mean, other than the weird shit that they're up to. So who knows? We'll figure it out, and we'll figure it out in 3 weeks. It's an odd number for us guys, but that's our breaks. Get used to it. 3 weeks between seasons. And November 30th, we're going to jump back into your eardrums and give you, as Frank said, the Vatican.
Yeah, I'm real stoked about season 2. I think season 2 is really, we took season 1 and kind of got into our stride, and I feel like we're there now. So the research is going to get better. The conversation is going to get deeper. It's going to get pretty wild.
So deep.
So deep.
So that is the end of our 10th debriefing and our first live show.
Holy
this
crap.
is the end of our this is the end of our first season.
It went
Like,
quick.
Flew by.
Yeah,
Flew by, dude.
we've done some pretty fun things in the last, I guess, 90 days or so, and it's been overwhelmingly positive. And you know, on all over. I mean, throughout some of the, you know, Jeffrey Epstein motherfucker.
I just want everybody to
throughout-
look at the ticker real quick.
I saw that. I love it. I don't know. Maybe we can make something happen.
Maybe.
Interdimensional.
Oh, I just read that. Nice. Nice. But we want to thank you guys again for your continuous support. This has been like, it's really rewarding to see it. I know I've done some other things performance-wise in life, and this is up to par to see so many people supporting what we're doing, and we appreciate it so much, and we hope to have more of you. And, you know, tell your infant son, daughter, tell your grandmother, grandfather,
Tell my
spouse.
infant Squatch.
you know, tell Mystery Mike's infant Squatch that's probably taking a nap right now.
If you guys have
And-
seen my infant Squatch, you know
Yeah.
he's ready. He's ready for conspiracy.
Fueling up.
we appreciate everything, and continue to stay tuned and watch our ridiculous social media feed, whether it be Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. We have a Linktree, Hush Hush Society, and if you guys feel like sending us something that you want to see season 2 that we might change, you know, send us a topic at our email at planetmail.com. At hushhushsociety at planetmail.com. I mean, you know, you gotta give a front handle, but you know, email us or just, you know, hit us up on one of the social medias, and we'll get back to you.
We're
And,
everywhere.
Yeah, we're everywhere all the time. So again, thank you from literally all three of us. You know.
Yes, and before we go, I just want to say a thank you to all of our fellow podcasters that have helped us out. You guys have been awesome. Really, really great. Whether it was on Twitter or it was me guesting on your show or any of us guesting on your show, you've done wonders for us, and we appreciate it. Like, you have no idea.
Yeah, thank you, everybody. I mean, some of these appearances that Mike has done, I had no idea until they were recorded. So thank you to everybody that's reached out, like you said, and everybody we've worked with. And there's definitely going to be some of those folks on our second season, and most definitely our third season. And we have a fourth season planned, so you guys definitely stay tuned and all that. So stay tuned. The 3 people that email us their weird experience, the first 3, I hope to hear from all of you some weird experience, because we'd love to talk about it.
For sure.
Definitely send us an email, hushhushsociety at planetmail.com. And as always, Hushlings, be safe and keep an ever watchful eye for the strangest things right in front of you. And we will see you in 3 weeks on November 30th for the beginning of the Hush Hush Society Conspiracy Hour Season 2, where we are sitting in the pew at the Vatican.
Oh, no.
So sit down, enjoy a ham or two, and we'll see you.
Did you say enjoy a ham?
A hymn.
The holy hymn.
The holy hymns.
I was thinking of the
So, you know-
Dyatlov Pass and just eating ham now. I don't know.
Yeah. Drop into the confession. Sit in the front row of the pew like you're at a wedding and you want to be the most important person there. But we'll see you there at the Vatican. But as always, guys, I'm Declassified Dave.
And I'm Mystery Mike.
And I'm Slick Frank Sanders.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks a lot.
The government
Thank
is poisoning you. The government is poisoning you. The government is poisoning you.
Until our next debriefing, remember, the best kept secrets are hidden in plain sight.